The way things are going right now makes everything look so depressing. And it's become some kind of a trend to say that this generation is cooked. This generation meaning the young people born after the year 2000. So I guess it's talking about the Gen Z, right? And although that is not wrong, when has the human race ever had a rainbow-colored future? And I know a lot of people might argue that our parents and our grandparents' generation had it much easier in the past because at least they were able to afford a house in the city by working a single job diligently, right? But anything you see in retrospect looks so easy and clean, like the road was always so obvious from the beginning. But it actually wasn't, right? So there's no real point in comparing generations to see who had it worse, because technology and global population constantly repurpose our way of thinking. And if you think about this closely, our psychology inevitably changes with economy because economy is linked to our survival in the modern world, right? So every era rewards different traits, and I'll try to explain how. So for example, having a warrior mindset with extreme honor, extreme valor is not as important anymore in this day and age, but it was highly valuable in feudal societies like the medieval era, right? Being docile, being honest, and being diligent used to be the most prized virtues, maybe back in the industrial era. But this is no longer true in the modern world, driven by attention and fads and trends. So, in summary, what used to work in one period might become a complete contradiction in the next. And Hegel calls this the dialectic of history. And we can see a clear example of this today as well. 20 years ago, going to college was an essential process for younger people to get a job, to afford a house, things like that. But today, with AI and an oversaturated economy, education doesn't really mean a thing anymore. And right now, I think we're at a point where we're trying to determine which virtues align with the society that we're living in. But at the same time, we are also intimidated by the fact that the world is changing so fast. And the rate of change is growing exponentially because of the accelerating growth rate, right? The accelerating growth effect. And with the recursive learning where AI will teach AI instead of humans, who knows where the world is headed, right? So I think this is the reason why everyone is so depressed these days, right? Everyone is out of energy. They're so tired. They're burnt out, even though they haven't really done anything. And we're living in an era of meaninglessness because the future is so out of our reach. And I see that a lot of nihilism is also spreading as well among the younger generation because this is actually understandable because letting go might be the most sane choice to make. And maybe I might be contributing to that factor as well. I don't know. But at some point, we need to ask ourselves, right? We need to ask ourselves a question. What is our new virtue in the age of AI and social media? Is it being performative? Being fake? Being depressed? Being cowardly? By the looks of it, self-deprecation seems to be the current human virtue. But the question is, do we want it to be?